This is my 1975 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am that I've just listed on eBay for sale. It's a running, driving, all original 1975 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. It does say both names on the title. Factory shaker hood, fender vents, the whole 9 yards. She needs a little bit of body work, not too bad. This car is not covered with all kinds of dings and dents all over the place. There's no dents, no big dents, and there's only 2 or 3 little dings anywhere on the car, which makes her exceptionally hard to find when in this condition with its running and driving on eBay. So, the problems with the car, body-wise, there's nothing motor or transmission-wise wrong. You can see this fiberglass panel below the bumper. It definitely needs a fiberglass repair on both sides. Don't know why, but those little sections are missing. Nothing big. This little panel below, right down here where it's all cracked up, that could be ordered. That's like $60 part or something. And yeah, so the hood sits straight and level, just like it should. Fits flush with the fenders. This hood has never been bent. It's got the factory stock hood scoop coming up out of the hood. It is a shaker hood. This front fender in really good shape. Even on the underside, only minor surface rust, nothing major anywhere around it. Really good condition original fenders. There's no rust below these fender vents, which that's where a lot of rust started. These ones are nice and clean and spotless. Okay, all the glass on this car is in great shape. It's all there. Right now I got the driver's door window down, the glass down. You can see by the seam line there, both doors sag a little bit. The driver's door is not too bad, but the passenger door does sag a little bit more, but it still opens and closes just fine. The only bad part about the windshield is there is a little rock chip that somebody repaired sometime in the past. That could have been repaired much better. It's right here. Passenger fender. Surface rust up and around the wheel. Not too bad. A little bit of rust bubbling up underneath the paint right there. And right there at the corner. That needs to be touched up. And a little bit of surface rust on the edge of the door skin. There, not too bad. Again, that little extra gap there up at the top just shows the door sags a little bit. But on most of these old cars, when they're 36 years old and all original, they do sag. On the passenger side here, we've got the rear quarter. You can see rust bubbling through under the paint there. Ignore the ugly, hideous rims that are on it. But you can see it could use a rear quarter on both sides, which would clear up 99% of all the rust on this car. You got a little rust pocket there, and that can be patched in or replaced. Other than that, you got one crack on the door skin. That can be fixed up. Don't know why it cracked there, it just did. From the side view, she is one good looking car. I mean, can you imagine this thing fully restored? Want to talk about sexy? That is sexy. It's the original cameo white in color. She will come with the original Rally 2 rims. I'm going to show you those before I get to the back side and the driver's side of the car. The Rally 2 rims, got all 4 of them, only 2 of the center caps. I do not have any of the rings. These were usually painted to match the car. These are the original ones that came with the car. I would recommend sanding them down and repainting them. All 4 of these extra tires have got, or rims have got good tires on them that were the right size and everything for this car. As a matter of fact, there's two different matching sets of tires, two sets of two, so it's not a matching set of four, but they're all in good reusable condition. Yeah, so there's the tires that'll come with the car as well. Okay, now from the back. The tail section of the car, you're going to notice, is incredibly clean and straight. This car is as straight as an arrow. It doesn't look like it's been in any major accidents or anything like that. You know, when they repainted it 21 years ago, this car was professionally restored 21 years ago. That's why she's in such good condition. Just it's ready to be restored again. Trunk lid sits perfect. There's no dents, no dings, no major rust or really rust to speak of. All the windows around them have a light surface rust right around the trim, you know, that can be patched up when you repaint it. You know, take off all the chrome trim and patch, you know, just sand it down and primer it and paint it up. I'm going to open up the trunk here so you can see inside the trunk. A lot of these cars inside the trunk got all rusted out. This one did not. Trunk's nice and clean. As you can see, been a little bit of spillage of paint and stuff in there. Now, sometime in the past, I'll get back to the trunk here in a second. In the past, she had a small dent in her, and where you can see the Bondo that they used to patch the rest of the dent has cracked, so that definitely needs to be redone. Like I said, a couple rear quarter panels, and she'll be shining like new. Right there, they also had a little bit of Bondo. It's starting to come apart right there at between the door and the rear wheel. But the rear quarter panels on these go about halfway up the between the windows, and rear quarters also come with the complete inside door jamb and everything, which you can see this little bit of rust down here. That with new rear quarters will be replaced if you get the full rear quarters, because the rear quarters actually end right here, and then well, this is part of the other part, but rear quarters down here right across this base. Not too bad though for the door trim. Let me show you the rest of the outside. Yes, the glass is in the door. Driver's door, really good shape, just needs sanded down and cleaned up. And then we're back up to the front fender. The upholstery definitely needs to be replaced. You can see the upholstery front and back is basically worn out due to age rather than wear. More age because the way everything, the upholstery split, it split more along the seams of everything where it was all stitched and stuff. I took the seat covers off this so you're not getting any mystery surprises. The back seats, the top of the passenger side of the back seat, it's got a little hole in it just from age. Overall not too bad. None of the carpet has been worn through, not in front of any of the seats, including the driver's seat. Now we're going to sit in the car, and I'm going to point out the advantages of it. Okay, it's got the original Firebird racing steering wheel in there, and I guess I can't zoom out on that anymore. It's got the original racing steering wheel, and the gauges, and all the gauges and instruments work. It's got the factory stereo, 8-track stereo, there up above at the top of the console, as well as still a good old-fashioned 2-knob stereo. I know that's a rare find. This switch here is actually for the rear window defroster. I would assume it works, but I have not tested it because I haven't had any snow on the back of the car. She's been sitting in a car tent all winter. The leather's in good shape up on the dashboard, except for some cracking right here. Just this little bit of cracking, which is expected. It's kind of on every Firebird. It's kind of like that. Now the glove box there, that plastic panel that screws in on the outside of it, That could either be replaced, or you can just screw that tighter, but it'd probably look better with the new one. Still got the wussy bar, or handlebar, or whatever you want to call it, when people get too scared, because she's a powerful car. Passenger door, the inside door panel could be replaced, needs to be replaced, needs to be redone, reupholstered, stuff like that. Kind of what you would expect to see on a 36-year-old car. This car only has 129,000 miles on her. Between the time on the sticker, when she was last professionally oil changed, was the next service date was due 11/22 of 2005 at 30,276 miles. I would assume that means 130,000, but the tags last expired in December of 07, and since that time, we know the odometer works. Since that time, if you read the odometer statement saying 29,028 miles, between August of 05 and December of 07, the last owner of this car only drove the car 1,800 miles. I know she had a minor stroke at the end of 07 and was unable to drive anymore. She refused to part with this car until she died last October when I purchased it. Alright, so now that's from the inside of the car. Now we'll take a peek under the hood. You got the 400 small block motor. What I did the other day is I went ahead and did a full rebuild on the carburetor. So the carburetor has just been fully rebuilt. Then I took and I also replaced the fuel pump, and then the line going from the fuel pump to the carburetor has also been replaced. Today I steam cleaned the entire engine compartment and motor. She runs like a champion right now, for the most part, and yeah, what a great looking car. I also cleaned off underneath the on the undercarriage, around the outside of the transmission and stuff like that. Sprayed that all down, steam cleaned it. You can see there's a lack of rust under the hood. There's nothing other than surface rust under this hood. I believe the bottom part underneath on the battery pan itself could be replaced. She is missing the little vent that goes between the right here and the fender vent, which those can be ordered online. They're not expensive. And then the hose that goes from one pipe here to the manifold covers, or whatever those are down there. She has not been jury-rigged to work in any way other than the ignition does need to be replaced. So what they did is they put a push start ignition in her. So just basically you turn the when you turn it over, you just turn the thing forward and then just push the push start button to start the car. She does not blow any blue smoke or anything like that. She doesn't seem to be burning any oil. And she's a good running car. She's running like no other. Okay, back here in the trunk. Now that I explained a little earlier, I explained right there the area where they used a little bit of Bondo for a dent. And I know it was a dent because they cut an access panel inside the trunk, on the inside edge of the trunk, on what's called the trunk extension. And what happened is that trunk extension, where they cut that little access panel trying to push out the dent originally, has rusted all the way around. So you would want to either make one or just buy a truck extension for the driver's side of the trunk. And then the rest of this in here is just surface rust. But okay, she is in good shape. let's see. Okay, I do have I have the keys that fit all the doors and all the and the trunk, and then we also have the passenger door does not want to open from the inside, but it will from the outside. I don't know why. I'm sure it's a simple fix. It's probably just something slipped off. So right now I'm going to show you how we've got her hooked up to start. Just run this forward. Then we've got a little push button here, under here, to start the car. She starts up best with 4 pumps on the gas pedal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Now I would recommend replacing the pulleys on the motor because they are squeaking. Yeah, she's a good sounding car. If it wasn't for that squeaking, it would be sound perfect. Like I said, she idles like no other. That's because I just rebuilt the carburetor. She does have dual exhaust, the factory dual exhaust. There's no blue smoke or anything like that. No funny smells coming out of her. She's a great looking car. She purrs like a kitten. You know, she just needs a little bit of TLC, just a little bit of body work, and she should be a strong runner. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else I need to go over on this car? You get the original Rally 2 rims that, in addition to the rims and tires that are currently on it, you can see there's no uneven wear patterns on the front tires or the rear tires to show that there might be any kind of an alignment issue going on here. So yeah, there's no alignment problems with her at all. I would have thrown the Rally 2 rims on her, but, you know, I don't think they've been balanced in 20 years. Because I believe they probably put these rims and tires on her, or at least the rims on her, back in right about 91 or 92. Right in there, when the last owner actually bought the car before me. We have a clean, clear title that's in my name. I am only the 3rd owner of this car. I've only owned it since last October. Great looking car. Tell you what, if a teenager had this at school, at his high school, he would be the envy of every kid in his high school. That is just one beautiful car. I really don't want to sell her, but, you know, I'm a couple months behind on my mortgage payment, and unfortunately, I've decided to part with the car so that they don't foreclose on the house. It's the only reason why I'm selling her. Otherwise, I'd keep her for life. This was my dream car when I graduated back in '88. This was my dream car. That's when everybody was still driving the '78 Trans Ams and Firebirds and Camaros, and I always wanted one. I wanted the Firebird with the Trans Am package just like this. This is not a clone. This is not a Firebird Esprit that somebody's made up to look like the Trans Am. This is the original Firebird Trans Am, and it shows both names on the title, Firebird and Trans Am. But like I said, I would have thrown the Rally 2 rims back on her, and she would look a lot better. However, they haven't been balanced in 30 years, or 20 years, I'm sorry. And as well as, you know, all the tires on these Rally 2 rims are in good condition. A couple tires are flat at the moment. I'm assuming it's a leaky valve stem, and I don't see any holes. I'll make sure they're fully inflated before the car is shipped out or picked up. Make sure they're in good condition to go. But yeah, she runs and she drives like a dream come true. 400 small block under the hood, 350 Hydromatic turbo transmission, I believe it is. You can spin the tires on her all day long, and I just haven't had a chance to take her out and open her up on the open road because she's not currently licensed. So she's insured for storage only. But yeah, You can see on the tags, last time the tags were registered was December of 07 is when they expired. But yeah, what a beautiful car. She can be yours if you're the highest bidder on eBay. You know, this is the one car that needs the least amount of work that you're going to find, because you're not going to be restoring somebody else, a project that somebody else started. You know, I never started doing the body work on her and stuff. I never started taking her apart. The only thing I did was rebuilt the carburetor, replaced the fuel pump and the main fuel line that goes up to the carburetor. And I put new plugs and wires in her and a new distributor cap. You know, just the basics. So, yeah. I hope you're the high bidder. You know, I know there's not many of these cars left around. I know restored they go for anywhere between right around $16,000 to $40,000, so just depending on the mileage. And this one's only got 129,000 original miles. Now the bottom side of the floor pans are not rusted. There is nothing but surface rust on those. There's no rust holes on the underside of the floorboards underneath the car, which is exceptionally rare to find. But she's only got 129,000 on her, and that would 129,000 miles on her, and that would explain why. But good luck, happy bidding, and I'm hoping to be able to ship this car to your house if you're the high bidder and payment is made in full immediately. If you're bidding on it and you live here in Utah or close to Utah and you want to come down and take her for a spin, take her for a test drive, let me know. We can get that set up. No problem with you doing your own inspections. Thanks. Happy bidding.